Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk today a little bit more about the fact that there are no justified resentments. And, we live in interesting times right now where, a lot of people would say that there's more hate, there's more divisiveness than there's ever been. And, I guess if you look at the fact that our planet, it has more people, and we've never had this much population before, or at least that I'm aware of, then yes, there could be. And we've never had more awareness of it, with the social media and television and all of that stuff. And so, when someone says to me, they see a story and they say, oh, my faith in humanity is restored, that is bothersome to me, because the fact that we're losing our faith in humanity when there's 7.5 billion people on this planet, if the overall majority or the overall meaning from man was not positive, we would all really, really know it and experience it every single day. Now, I'm not suggesting that there aren't things that are happening in our world that are very unpleasing. I'm just saying if there was not, the better part of humanity was not good, it would definitely be, we would all be feeling it on a much, much, much larger scale. And so, it's interesting that our news reports bad stories, just on the general, and a good story is considered, oh, hey, look at this. When the fact is, those kinds of things happen every single day. Let's think about it. Every single day when you're driving down the road, is there an experience where someone is, letting someone cut in front of them? Is there an experience at the grocery store where someone's got 2 items and someone has a whole cart and they say, hey, you go first? These kinds of things literally happen every single day in every community, in every state, in every country, all over the planet. So to say that, faith in humanity is restored, it's like, why did you lose it with 7.5 billion people? There's no reason to have lost it. Anyway, it was interesting because one of the first things I saw this morning was a friend on social media who posted something that, about today's news that, have we collectively lost our minds? And my immediate response was no, we have collectively lost our hearts, which means we've collectively forgotten who we are. And who we are is source energy, God energy. Who we are is one consciousness. And we have forgotten. And, we have to forget that when we come here, because Earth is a school. It's a school for our souls. And so part of the lesson plan is for us to return to oneness while we're in the physical body. That's part of the process. So we're supposed to, lose and forget who we are momentarily. And then we sign up for experiences in our lifetime that will hopefully bring us back into that knowingness, back into that oneness, back into that place of love. So no, we have not lost our minds. We've lost our hearts. And that's what this series, that's what this video, that's what this project, this mission is all about, is helping people return to knowing who you are, and knowing that we are all connected. We are all one. So I want to talk a couple of things today. So what you believe in is your reality. Okay. How you feel about yourself is how you will see the world. There's only 2 places that your thoughts can come from. They either come from love or they come from fear. That's it. Those are the only 2 places that your thoughts, that your beliefs, and remember, a belief is just a thought you keep having over and over again. So it's just a thought, and a thought can change, which means your beliefs can change. You weren't born with them. You practiced them based on your experiences. And so any of those can change at any moment in time. You just simply change your perception, you change your reality, okay? And so they're only coming from either love or from fear. And so there's always 2 ways to see things. And, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say that you had a really high paying job and the company closed down, and now you have a not so high paying job. You can either look at that as, oh crap, my life is over, I don't have this job, or you can say, wow, what a great example, what a great experience that was to be employed at that place, and I'm so grateful that I still have a job. Even though it's not paying as much, I have a job. You see, there's always two ways to look at that, to look at anything that happens in our life. The fear would be, oh no, I don't have my job, the world is coming to an end, my life is over, I'm going to lose everything. To the other from love is, man, I'm so grateful that I had that job, I got that experience, and I'm so grateful that I've got another job and that I'm not unemployed entirely. In any situation, there's always two ways to look at it. And so, if we look at this idea, you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. I'm going to give you an example of that in a minute, but I want to go back to something else I wrote down, which is when you're looking at things from a place of love, that is in alignment, in connection, in relationship to God or source. Okay, that's oneness. So when you're looking at things from a position of love, you're being a host to God. Okay, when you're looking at things from a place of fear, now you're in your ego. Okay, that is limiting beliefs. That is duality. That is single-mindedness. That's not overall oneness. That's single-mindedness, and that is being a hostage to your ego. Because if you're looking at things from fear, that's coming from your ego, directly from your ego, which is not in alignment with God. Okay, we have to have an ego as a human because that's how we operate in these physical bodies. Okay, and I don't want anyone to walk away from this thinking ego is bad. The ego is fine as long as we know how to operate, how to work with it, how to heal it, how to nurture it, all of those things. And we use the ego for a lot of things in this physical world, but we always want to be relying upon our connection to source, our connection to God as our primary guidance system, if you will. Okay, so in every situation that we encounter, we have a choice of how do we want to look at it, through love or through fear, through God or through ego. Do we want to be a host to our source or a hostage to our ego? Those are the choices that we have in every situation. Okay, and so you can almost kind of look at it as, do you want to be right, which is going to align with the ego, or do you want to be happy, which is going to align with oneness, with God? Okay, and so there's a lot of things going on right now that are making a lot of people very unhappy. And, we're finding all of this divisiveness among us, and one side here and one side there, and you're right and I'm wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right. All of these different things are going on back and forth. And, the topic of this talk is there are no justified resentments. And boy, if you turn on any kind of social media, any kind of news, any kind of TV at all, you're going to find a lot of people talking about a lot of justification to spread fear, hate, anger, and resentment. And, and they think they're justified. They're doing it in the name of morality. They're doing it in the name of love. And it's not. It is so far away from love. Let me give you an example, okay? This is going to be kind of fun. So I'm going to just play out a little scenario for you to see the difference in when we react with love versus reacting with fear. So let's say you've got somebody on social media who says, I believe in XYZ and XYZ is the only way, and if you don't align with me, then you're wrong and I'm right, and the world is going to come to an end unless everybody agrees with XYZ. And then you've got the other person who says, oh my God, you believe in XYZ, that's the most ridiculous thing. If you believe in XYZ, then you are a racist, or you are wrong, you are mean, you are not for humanity, you are this, you are that. And if you don't align with me, then the world is going to end and you're the one that's going to be wrong. What do you mean I'm wrong? What do you mean I'm a racist? You're not very nice for calling me that. I am right. You're wrong. This is how it is. I'm never going to agree with you. Well, I'm never going to agree with you. Well, then we're just going to agree to hate each other forever because I'm right and you're wrong. Well, no. In order, if you want the world to be better, you have to come on my side because I'm right and you're wrong. Do you see how the cycle is going to keep continuing? It's a perpetual cycle because you have justified your anger towards the other position, towards the other person. Here's something I'm going to suggest. Actually, I'm not going to suggest. This is the truth, okay? I'm going to suggest that you think about this. Because we are all one consciousness, and because this is an attraction-based universe, and because we experience our reality, okay, is dependent upon our beliefs, okay? You cannot see something in another person if you don't first see it in yourself. Remember, you cannot give what you do not have, okay? It's physically, spiritually, emotionally impossible to give something you don't have. If you walk up to me right now and say, give me an orange, well, I can't give you an orange. I don't have one on me. Now, if I run upstairs, I can grab one. I think there's one on the counter. It goes back to the orange. Let's look at the orange. If you squeeze an orange, is there ever a time when you would get mango juice out of an orange? Could you get mango juice at 4 a.m.? Could you get apple juice if the sister squeezes it, if the boss squeezes it, if the kids squeeze it, if at 5 a.m. and you're dead tired and annoyed and miserable, could you get apple juice out of squeezing an orange? No. It'll never happen because the orange cannot give what it doesn't have. It only has orange juice, okay? So I know this is going to rattle a lot of people, and that's okay. I'm all right with that, okay? Because this is the truth, and sometimes the truth can be challenging to us. But you cannot see ugliness in another person. You cannot see hatred. You cannot see anger. You cannot see anything in another person unless you have it inside yourself first. Okay? Because how you see yourself is how you will see the world. Now, let's do another scenario. Okay? I believe in XYZ, and the world is going to come to an end unless everybody changes their behavior and starts aligning with me. And if you don't believe in XYZ with me, then you're an idiot, and there's no room for you, and we're going to have to just figure out how to deal with you, and the world is going to come to an end if you don't come into alignment with me and believing in XYZ. Well, you believe in XYZ? Gosh, I never thought about it that way. I believe in love. And you know what? I love you. And I hope you have a magnificent day. Well, what do you mean? You don't believe in XYZ, but you love me and you hope I have a magnificent day. Well, I believe in love. I believe that I can approach this in two ways. I can be right or I can be happy. And I believe that in everyone is goodness. And so if I want to change the world, I first have to change how I see the world. And in you, my friend, I see love. And I hope you have a very blessed and wonderful day. Oh, well, thank you. Now, do you see the difference there? I'm not going to get this person XYZ to agree with me, perhaps, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because I can come from one of two places. I can come from fear, I don't agree with you, or I can come from love. I love you and I hope you have a beautiful day. Have I changed the world? Absolutely. Because I changed the vibration for that moment. Instead, because our thoughts and our emotions are energy, and that energy sticks in our universe. And for that moment, I spread the energy of love. Imagine for a second, for 1 second, if everybody banded together, held hands, and just said, thank you. What would happen to the energy of the world? You see, I have no control over the behavior of XYZ person. I only have control over my behavior. And if I choose to see everyone from a place of love, then that becomes my reality. Okay? Now you might say, oh, well, that's not reality. Well, yes, it is. That's my reality. My reality is that I get to choose if I want to be a host to God or if I want to be a hostage to my ego. And if I'm truly going to impact the world, imagine for 1 second that XYZ in the first scenario, both of these people back and forth, now they're mad, they're angry, they've got all that energy going. Who's going to get the next bit of that? The very next person that they encounter is going to get snapped at. And then that person who gets snapped at is going to do what? Snap. And then that person that they snapped at is going to do what? Unless, of course, they found someone that is going to react in love. So imagine for a second, they're coming at me and I say, I love you. And they walk away going, oh, hey, you know what? This place isn't so bad after all. And then maybe they open the door for the next person who's got their hands full. And that person is like, gee, thank you so much. And then when that person gets in, puts their things down, and they see someone who needs help drop something on the floor, they go to pick it up. Here you go. Have a nice day. Do you see how this works? You want to change the world, you have to change how you see it. You can be right or you can be happy. You can approach it from love or from fear. But what you can't do is see something in someone else that you don't first have in you. So what are you going to do today? How are you going to choose to see the world today? How are you going to choose to see yourself first and foremost? And I pulled a card for this talk, okay? It says, my consciousness is filled with healthy, positive, loving thoughts that reflect themselves in my experience. Now, when I say I chose this card, I shuffled a deck of 52 cards, and this is the one that came out, okay? I didn't go through searching. This is the one that came out. This is spirit. This is the universal consciousness talking to us. My consciousness is filled with healthy, positive, loving thoughts that reflect themselves in my experience. Okay? And then the back of the card says, I move through life knowing that I am safe, divinely protected, and guided. Isn't that a much better way to approach life? You know, this is an attraction-based universe. What you focus on expands. Do you want to see the love in people, or do you want to bring out the fear? Because what you see in yourself is what you're going to bring out in others. I would love to hear your feedback, your comments, your questions. Like, share, any of that stuff. I would love to hear from you guys and how you're experiencing or practicing this principle this week or next or whenever. And so thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share this, and I will see you again soon.